All right, chapter 3 is on pronouns. We're going to go over lesson 3.1 and 3.2 today, page 58 of your grammar book. Lesson 3.1 asks, what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun or another pronoun. The word that a pronoun refers to is called its antecedent. You're going to want to get used to that word antecedent. So let's look at an example. Mrs. Lee went to the store. She had to buy milk. She replaces and refers to Mrs. Lee. We have pronouns so that we don't have to say Mrs. Lee went to the store, Mrs. Lee had to buy milk. She replaces Mrs. Lee. Now we have personal pronouns. Pronouns such as I, she, them, and it are called personal pronouns. Personal pronouns have a variety of forms to indicate different persons, numbers, and cases. So let's look at person and number. There are first person, second person, and third person personal pronouns. Each has a singular and plural form. So you're going to look at the chart on page 58 to understand what I'm talking about. The first person pronoun would be I, second person would be you, and third person would be she. And those are all singular. And plural, first person would be we, second person would be you, and third person, plural, is they. Now case, each personal pronoun has three cases: subject, object, and possessive. We'll get into subject when we go over lesson 3.2 in just a few minutes. Object is 3.3 and possessive is 3.4. So let's talk about that later on when we get to it. There are examples on page 58, and a chart on page 59 that you're going to want to become familiar with. In fact, I would suggest memorizing that chart so that you can understand the different types of pronouns. So let's look at some examples. Find the personal pronouns in each sentence. Write these down in your notebook. Write down the personal pronouns. I'm not going to tell you the answers right now. We'll talk about them tomorrow. There are 4 sentences. You may want to pause the video, read over the sentences, and then determine the pronouns. Don't just pick out words that look like pronouns. Make sure you read the entire sentence too. All right, now lesson 3.2 is on page 61. A subject pronoun. A subject pronoun is used as the subject of a sentence or as a predicate pronoun after the linking verb. You have to remember what predicate nouns and pronouns are. Remember, they come after a linking verb, not an action verb. So let's look at that chart. This is the same chart I was just talking about in the previous lesson, and that's also on page 61. There are singular and plural pronouns, and I'll let you look at that chart. And now we're going to talk about pronouns as subjects. Use a subject pronoun when the pronoun is a subject or part of a compound subject. It's awfully wordy, but I think you'll understand when you look at the example. The Apollo program was a great success. It got us to the moon. It refers to the Apollo program, and it is the subject of the sentence. Who or what the sentence is about. It's about it. What is it? It is the Apollo program. Predicate pronouns. A predicate pronoun follows a linking verb and identifies the subject. The biggest supporters were she and I. Now that might sound a little strange to you because normally we would probably say she and I were the biggest supporters or we were the biggest supporters, but this is still okay. This is still grammatically correct. The biggest supporters were she and I. And notice that it's now part of the predicate because it comes after the linking verb. Okay, so choose the best pronoun. Again, write these down in your notebook. We'll talk about them in class. And there are 4 sentences there. All you need to do is choose the correct pronoun in parentheses. It's not always which one sounds the best. We'll talk about how to figure out which pronoun to use, but looking back on the lesson for subject pronouns, choose the best pronoun. That's it for lesson 3.1 and 3.2. Have a great day.